What's up, my rivals gang? So, Xraypc here, and I just wanted to be able to show you guys this tier list I made with the characters we have knowledge of so far. And as of lastly, it was Hawkeye. So, like Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Psylocke, Captain America, Bucky were all added after the test was over. Captain America, Bucky, and Psylocke were playing with the Chinese beta. So we have like, and I got to try Bucky and Captain America in like the extra creator beta or extra creator test. It wasn't like a beta; it was like a 2 day test that we played at customs and stuff. So I got to actually get my hands on those characters and see how they are. Then they got buffed afterwards, so I don't know how they are buffed, but apparently in China they felt amazing. So this is the tier list I have so far. Sometimes we'll flash on screen a little bit, but yeah. So we got in needs work tier. We got the Shark, and we got Penny Parker. I put them there solely just because they're good, right? There's another tier right above that is good but hard, but the good but hard tier is characters that will always be good on any map most of the time, but the skill required to make them as good as they can be is just way higher than anybody above them. But it's kind of the same for Shark and Penny, except Penny is literally only good on this map, which is for her, and the Shark is not really good on any map. There's not a map where Shark is like good. His main heal is clunky to use. Let me find. I'll just show you guys. I was trying to edit this so I could just do it all, but to add in like the talking, I'll pretty much have to make this thing like 50 minutes. So the video is probably gonna be like 20 minutes, so hopefully. But yeah, so needs work is like the Shark and her, and just yeah, pretty much. Like Penny has like a stun, which is the stun is the only good thing about her whole kit. The mines too sometimes, and the healing from the webs. But her left click does like almost no damage still, even with the double fire rate. It just needs like a little bit of a damage boost. Her ultimate feels really useless. Her ultimate is literally completely useless. The only thing that can make her ultimate good is pretty much just making her CC immune, keeping everything about it, even with the slight buffs they give it to it, and then just give it CC immunity. She isn't like one-shotting her team. She isn't doing like crazy damage or anything, but at least make it so she can't just get stun locked in her ultimate. You know what I mean? And slowed and everything on top of her just like getting bursted in her own ultimate. And you would think with that health bar that she gets the overhealth that she wouldn't get bursted, but yeah, no. Let's see. The good but hard tier, we got Loki, Hulk, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Black Panther. The reason they're here is pretty much like I said, they're good but hard characters. Hulk is a crazy good tank, can stomp like a team 1v6 if it need be, but you have to be insanely good with him. He has a crazy combo where you can kind of like left click, do like a clap, knock you up in the air. I think it's when he's ulti mainly. He's like boom, boom, knock you up in the air, jump, and if someone's in the air and he jumps, he can take you. He pretty much like grabs you and then slams you into the ground and stuns you. And you can knock somebody force them into that. You don't have that like only hit flyers or some mobile character randomly. With his ult, you can force them into that. So that's like, hard but good. Scarlet Witch, she makes Magneto insane, and her kit's really good for taking out flyers. She's pretty good at taking out healers, kind of, but she's just she's just so close range, and her kit's so unique, but also really easy to like beat, kind of low-key. She just takes way more skill to pop off than all the like higher like DPS characters. Spider-Man's just the hardest character in the game, bar none. Until they make a harder character, he's just the hardest character in the game. He literally works like you're playing like the Spider-Man game, except you're not. Black Panther. I'll skip Loki, but I'll go back to him. Black Panther is one of the hardest melee characters. Not as hard as he's harder than Magic, but he's not as hard as Spider-Man. He's not as easy he's not as hard as Spider-Man, but he's easier, or he's harder than Magic. There you go. He's the middle child. He has a crazy burst. He has like resets. I think you have to hit him with your spear and put a mark on him. He has ulti, does a crazy amount of damage AoE. I think it goes through shields. He's just not consistent. He's a melee character, and he's a DPS, so he's squishy. So you just have to do a lot more with him. Loki is a healer that was dominating the first test and second test. He fell off really hard. And not really because he's bad, but they just made Mantis so good. Adam Warlock came out new, and Adam Warlock is OP. He's like Zenyatta with like way better heals. He has a crazy damage reduction that was so good it felt like a literal ultimate. And it wasn't his ultimate. His ultimate is an AoE res that anyone within the vicinity will just get res at his position and a little like giant circle in the air that everyone can see. And so it's telegraphed kind of, but I mean, it really doesn't matter. Like, they do get res with low health, but then he has AoE heals. And if you're playing with a Mantis, she'll have a heal on him and heals ready for your whole team. And she goes 1, 2, 3 and put a heal on like everyone that just got res. Or she could just pop her ulti after getting after the res and then heal everyone up to full. So that's why that combo is really good. And she can damage boost him and Warlock, and then Adam Warlock would just melt your whole team. Loki, on the other hand, yeah, he has like the immunity, but then the immunity got nerfed on cooldown, I think. And everything about him is just hard to get positioning against some of these characters. More characters they keep adding with better movement. It's hard for him. The dive meta with Venom just destroyed him. So yeah, it was really hard to play him. But who knows, with all the new characters added, that Loki could probably go up. But I think he'll always stay in good but hard. Like, I feel like there's a bad Loki is apparent. An average Loki is like just doesn't really feel like much. And then a OP god tier, they hit every shot, hit every heal, hit every immunity at the right time. They just feel unstoppable. Doctors. So then let's pause right here for a second. Doctor Strange, Punisher, Namor, Groot, Star-Lord, and Thor, all balanced. Balanced to me is they don't need any tweaks down, and they don't need any tweaks up. If you tweak them, if you buff them, I feel like they'll be way too much of a problem. And if you nerf them, I mean, there's a 0.2 because they're fine, right? That's just balance to me. They could be tweaked later after they tweak a bunch of other characters, and this is always what happens. Is the balanced characters end up becoming the OP characters because they nerf too many OP characters down below even them, and now they're the new OP line, you know? So we'll see later in the future. We still have like 4 to 5 more characters to be added, but we're supposed to have 33. Let me count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. There you go. I couldn't even do it in my head. I was looking and I was like trying to think at the same time. But yeah, so we have 28 of the 33 characters. We need 5 more characters. So, you know what I mean? It could get crazier from here. They could add one more broken tank and all of a sudden, like, pretty much would do like what Doctor Strange does, but better. Who knows? We haven't seen what it is yet, but like Doctor Strange is a shield tank similar to Reinhardt, but he could fly. He has a really strong left click that could do a lot of damage. They took away from the first test. I'm gonna have some videos showing the first test just because I forgot to like fully save and highlight my old videos, and I forgot Twitch deletes them. So now the only Doctor Strange video I have is from the first test where you can see me do the glitch, or you could like left click, melee left click, and do burst damage and stuff. So he can't do that anymore, but he still can do a ton of damage. He has the portal, he has the AoE move where he just like bow and shouts, and if he builds that meter up, it'll do a ton of damage. He has his ultimate, which is a stun, and he can make people take like double damage. Like if you have AoE characters hitting both them and the clone that pops out of them, they'll take like huge damage. So like everything about him is just so good, it's so solid. Like if you're bad at Doctor Strange, you will not understand why people keep hyping him up. But then when you see a god tier Doctor Strange one every 5 or 8 matches, you'll literally go, holy, you know, this guy is the best tank in the game. He has to be. And then, you know, you realize Magneto's stronger, Venom's stronger, Captain America is stronger. Like Captain America is like the perfect dive comp tank, but he can also be like a passive tank. He also has a shield. He also could like literally reflect ultimates. If an Iron Man shoots his ultimate at Captain America and he pops his shield thing at the right time, he could literally deflect the ultimate and hit your team. Like a Doctor Strange can block the ult, sure, and he has the bigger shield, so he can block it from your whole team. But Captain America can reflect that and pentakill your team. So it's like characters like that will just like he's just there. We go. He's too simple. There we go. He's such a straightforward and simple character. He's like Reinhardt. You know what he's gonna do. You could telegraph what he's gonna do, but if he's really good, it just doesn't matter. He's just gonna be consistent at it. Punisher's another consistency is Punisher. Punisher's the most consistent character in the whole game. He has an assault rifle, and he has a shotgun, you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna find an angle and just dump damage into your team, consistently do damage. Right? He's just getting people low. He might not get a bunch of kills from that far unless he's cheating and hitting all headshots. But he's gonna get you low. He's gonna get everyone low. That's his job, is to get everyone low or help somebody by consistently hitting the target that's trying to run away, so that the melee or flanky kind of character can go and finish them off for your team, or your off tank can go finish them off for your team. Then when he pulls out the shot, he has a raccoon boost though. He becomes the carry of the team, but it's really only that. Like if you have a storm and a raccoon, Punisher can like just melt your whole team without ulti. His ulti though is like the team wiper. Like when he's like, "Hey guys, I'm about to make a play," that means he probably has his ultimate. You could hit tab, see he has an ultimate. I don't even think you have to hit. No, you have to hit tab. I was thinking about a different game. Yeah, in this game you have to hit tab. You can see he has ultimate. You play off that. His ulti is literally the kill everyone button. There is ways to just kite him out. But like I said, with Storm can damage boost him. Storm can movement speed him. A boost. Sorry, I drink energy drink. A boosted and a movement speed boosted Punisher can literally zoom on your team, bro. Zoom on your team. Literally unstoppable. I don't know, like once we figured out how good Storm was, over. Literally made Punisher go from an okay character to a broken character. Only with that character though. Let's move on to Namor. Namor is, I mean, he just does what he does. He just throws spears. He's like a sniper, like hella, and he has turrets. If he has a Luna Snow, he gets another turret. He could put 2 normal turrets, and he could put the Luna turret. The Luna turret does damage and slows, but does less than his normal turret. And his normal turrets all of his turrets will do like an extra attack if he does his right-click spear move. And then he has the immunity that they gave him the ability to move in the air. He would have been good but hard, but because they made it so he can move in the air when he's using it, and then they have Luna Snow just so broken now after they tweaked a bunch of characters and how Loki kind of fell out, that you could use Luna way more now, and Luna's in way more games. You could use Namor, get the other turret that slows people, so when people dive you could just like left click, right click, and it's just like what is that person gonna do? Or like left click, right click, animation cancel it, left click again, and then that person literally just gets hit with 3 spears. The right click does more damage obviously than your main thing. You might even hit a headshot in there. And because you did a right click, all of your turrets shot at the same time. They always proc because of your right click. And they will do extra damage. So you just can insta burst somebody, but you have to be really good at him, right? So he could be bordering good but hard, or I think he's balanced now. Because the only downside of that character was he would just go up in the air in his immunity. That's it. He just go up in there and stay there. But now he can kind of glide around the corner to safety to his healers and fall back down. He can glide towards your team and get to a high ground and start shooting down at you. He could do a lot more now. So I think he stays in balance. Groot is just another balanced tank. You know what he's gonna do. He's gonna try to wall you off from your team. He's gonna try to put the big heal wall up, because it covers the most ground, throw a damage wall on the side, and keep left clicking you, because every Groot kind of, if you don't know the damage range of your damage wall, where the tendrils will come out and smack them when you hit them with your left click or any type of damage, you're playing Groot wrong. You have to know what the distance is so that you could throw your walls in premium places. Don't just throw your damage wall behind somebody all the time. You could throw your damage walls on the sides, and you play like towards the right side, forcing them to the left into the walls, and then they're just, it's not in the way. It's not like it's blocking them, but they're constantly trying to play the angle on you and try to move around you, and you're constantly hitting them. And the walls are doing so much damage to them. Like I'll end the games with MVP most damage every game, and like I only have like 5 deaths as the group. You know what I mean? And like MVP damage, MVP kills, like, you know what I mean? Groot can do it all, and his ultimate is also an AoE suction in that just annihilates a whole team. It can, I think it will stop them on their movement ability. They can't use anything to get out of it. And if somebody's ulting, it'll cancel their ult half the time. I don't know, some ults won't cancel and some ults will totally cancel. So you gotta know which ones. Like if I do it to a Luna Snow, she'll continue to heal everybody. But if I do it to, I think if I do it to like Doctor Strange mid ult, it'll yank him out of his ultimate. Like if he didn't get his ult off, like he like starts doing the hand thing, and he's like doing the hand stuff before he puts his hands out and like explodes. I think it will like pull him and stop him. I've done this sometimes, like a character who has like a long animation channel to do their ultimate, and then like boom, and they get stopped. Or if I'm playing that tank and I'm trying to do it, I'll get stopped. So who knows? I know Magneto will just eat it up though. So because it's a projectile you throw, and Magneto will suck it into his ultimate. So just know that beforehand. Be careful. That's why I put him in balanced. He's not as oppressive as he was in the first test, especially with Magneto getting better. Venom's OP now, so he can just leap away and leap over and go behind you and just destroy your team or leap out and never get walled in. So just know he has the maps and comps that he's good in, but he's not always going to be the be all end all tank that he was in the first test. If you always see the first test, every tier list said he was the best. Not anymore. Uh, Star Lord. Star Lord is a Tracer 76 combo. His ultimate is a 76 ult. His kit is similar to Tracer's. He's a flank that can also do a good amount of damage, like a not a backline DPS, but if he's there, like he doesn't have to like be all weird and sit on the flanks and sit behind you all the time. He doesn't have to do all that, but it's also good to do that because that's what his character is meant for. He's a flanky character. Him, Psylocke, Magic, Black Panther, Spider-Man, they're not meant to really just sit there and do damage. They're there to like flank into your backline, pick off a healer, leave, run with your off tank, get kills, leave, flank again. Like that's what they're meant to do. And when Star-Lord is doing that, especially when he has ult, if he's waiting there and you guys push up, you have no vision on Star-Lord, he pops his ultimate because his dodge roll ability, that's like a tracer dash, it reloads his weapon. So he goes up in the air, has auto aim, and instead of having to, like, the one downside would be like the reloading of your weapons will take like maybe like 1.2 seconds or something, like waiting, okay, damage, and then person can get away. All he has to do is dump his clip, pay attention to his ammo, roll towards you in the air, roll in air, roll in air, like. And so if you're doing that consistently, you're good at it, you're just gonna destroy everyone. I think mid ult, I'm pretty sure you can't use your auto aim like thing where it's like you spin around in a circle, but I don't think so. I think you could actually do that. I think you could do that. I don't know why you would. I would just dump my left click. I think you get increased damage as well, slightly. But yeah, he also has that auto aim thing where he spins in circles. It's not as like people heard like, oh my god, he has like a Reaper on demand like ability that you could spam and it's auto aims, it hits everything. That's OP. And it's like nobody really does that on him. They do it to like get closer to you. Like they'll dash up in the air and then do that to stay in the air a little bit longer to hover towards you and then shoot you and then dash up in the dash again and then shoot you and then they'll kill you. That's what they're doing that for. They're not that like they'll dash up in the air, do that, pop ulti so they're already high up in the air, and then just start going crazy. And then the everything before that maybe got you low enough for his left click on you doesn't need to be as long so he can focus on the rest of your team. That's pretty much. And so he's a balanced character. You know he's gonna do consistently, and he's gonna do it obviously. So it's easier to counter, but he's always gonna get his job done. He's always gonna get a kill or two. Like that's why but he doesn't need a nerf. Like I can't think of a nerf. All this balanced here, I literally can't think of one nerf that won't just make them the worst character in the game. And if you buff them in any way, they'll just become like the best characters in the game. You know, so it's kind of hard. Just the characters in S tier, they need slight tweaking down. I know they nerfed Magneto, but they only touched his sword ability. You know what I mean? Like that's a nerf that is like okay, like that didn't. I used Magneto with no Scarlet Witch on the team, and I was dominating everyone, so getting 40, 50 kills a game. So that's that type of thing, you know. You could do that as Star-Lord, but no. You could do that in Groot, no. You could do that in Namor, but not all the time. Thor as well. Thor is an enabler, right? He enables Captain America and Storm to become broken characters. Storm's already broken enough. Then as you get the Thor in the team, she becomes more broken, and he does, I think, the most damage of all tanks, like up front. As soon as he pops his like little like lightning throw ability, he will just nuke any squishy in the game. But he's like a melee, so he's kind of hard to get off. He doesn't have like a normal shield thing, so he just has like overhealth and stuff. So he's a really hard. He's just a DPS. He's just a glorified DPS. There you go. So yeah, Thor is just like a glorified DPS. Yeah, this is the balance here. Pretty much like his ultimate flies in the air, slams on you, does a bunch of damage. His thing where he throws a bunch of lightning, his like instead of like normally meleeing, he'll now throw lightning instead. It just does a bunch of damage. Everything about him, he throws his right click, it's just more damage. He's pretty much just I do a lot of damage. He has nothing about him that's crazy CC, but his damage is so high that that's really all he needs to do. He's just a big body that does a ton of damage, and it's kind of hard to stop if he can get going. But he's rated at easy. He's not like anybody in the bottom tier. He's not hard to get off. Once people like learned his character for more than the first day that he came out, they realized, wow, this guy's actually impressive if you have another tank to back you up. Solo tank cannot do it. You cannot do with him. All the other tanks in the game you could solo tank with. You cannot solo tank as a Thor. Just know that ahead of time. Yeah. He also has like no real movement ability. He has like a dash in that could stun you and like dash you back, but the dash is super small range. Even if you fully charge it up, it's no Hulk leap. It's no Venom swing. Doctor Strange can like fly up in the air and then glide around the corner. Like it's none of that. Captain America is like all movement, so it's none of that. Penny Parker can swing. Yeah, so he's the only guy that's like, and it takes like 10 years to even get off. So yeah, Groot, Magneto have no movement, but it's when he's like an aggro tank and he doesn't have that much movement, it's harder. It keeps him in check. It keeps him in balance, so he's not just wrecking your entire team by himself. But yeah. And now we're going to move on to the A tier. We have Captain America, Moon Knight, Iron Man, Hela, Magic, Psylocke, Rocket Raccoon, Mantis, and Adam Warlock. Captain America is, just like I said, pretty much a lot. He's just the premium aggro tank other than Venom. But he could still be played. He's not like at least he has a shield. He can deflect ultimates, but deflect projectiles. And he can be played like passively if he wants. He's probably a better solo tank than Venom is. Venom can get a lot of kills if he's solo tanking, but your team's going to die in the process. It's kind of like you're solo tanking with a Winston, except when you have Venom. Whereas like if you have Captain America, it's like you're solo tanking with a Ramatra. You know what I mean? Like he's there, he's shield for you, but he's probably there to just do a lot of damage and get in on the enemy team when he goes melee mode. And when he has Thor, he has like I think his shield throw does like extra damage. I'm not sure if I can't remember if he gets an extra ability or if his shield throw ability just does more damage and does like a lightning chain or something like that. Or I think it's when he has Thor, he could like infinitely throw it. It's like some crazy thing. I need to look up a video game. I just remember him just being really oppressive. There is a lot of counters to him still, like the way you counter Venom is the way you counter Captain America. More melee characters though, like he deflects projectiles, but melee characters will just swing through his shield. So what do you do? Yeah, so that's how you counter him. AoEs too, you just throw it behind him and stuff. Moon Knight is probably the best AoE character in the entire game. Every left click will just chain and hit something, and if it doesn't have somebody to hit chain to, it will just hit the same person, I guess, like 2 more times. It'll just like hit, but the damage is low enough where you have to proc your Ankh thing on the ground, and they'll chain and hit the person and the Ankh over and over again, and you could just throw it at the Ankh and like have auto aim. Pretty much anyone in that circle will get hit by the left clicks. And yeah, pretty much I think that's really his only damage ability other than his ultimate. He has a grapple hook ability. He has a glide. He has a double jump. I don't think he has a wall climb. I'm not sure if he has a wall climb, but I know he has the double jump, the glide. I think he can hang on to walls. I think that's what he can do too. Like a Spider-Man character, he could hang on to walls after grapple hooking to him. I'm not sure now, but I'm pretty sure he can. Just know that he's pretty much just gonna always find vantage points and dump damage into you and destroy you. Pretty much is like what he's gonna be doing. Iron Man is just pretty much a way better Pharah. He can permanently stay in the air. His left clicks are buffed and damaged, so they're just smacking you around corners. He has his Unibeam, which is like a tracking option and can do a ton of damage. When he goes boost mode, that's when he actually is scary, and he gets Unibeam literally will kill every squishy in the game, bar none, especially if he has the Hulk Gamma Boost. Hulk is the enabler and Gamma Boost him. It will make that form do has double the effects or like 30% more effects and stuff. Hela. Oh, and his ultimate is a one shot. Like if it hits your team, if it touches anybody near the epicenter, it just pretty much one shots them. I think every tank will die. Like if a tank doesn't throw shield up, they die. I don't think anybody can survive it. But it could be deflected, blocked, anything. Eaten up by Magneto. Hela is the hit scan sniper character. They gave her damage fall off finally. The first set she had none, so she was 2-tapping across the entire map. Her ultimate, it gives her like a huge health pool. She goes up in the air. She's like a gigantic body, and she can just throw missiles at everybody. It's really annoying. She does that. And then when she comes out of it, she can just glide away. Like she has a dash. crazy burst damage potential on her if you know how to hit headshots, if you're consistent enough. She has like an AoE move that can like bring people in. I think she has like a mini stun. She has a launcher kit that still keeps her relevant and keeps her good, but the damage fall off thing hurt her a lot because now the flyers aren't as afraid of her and they could like actually 1v1 her if they're good enough. Magic is just a premium melee character, DPS. She can get crazy overhealth, teleport all around, become immune to damage. Let me pause it right here. Be immune to damage. Oh wait, there you go. So it's all blurry. Be immune to damage. When she's doing her like one teleport, she's like multiple options out of teleport, and during the teleport, she becomes immune for a second. So if you shoot an Iron Man ult and right before it hits you, you just do the teleport ability, like little mini teleport, and she'll just avoid all damage. And she has two damage options. She can throw an imp, and it'll just continue hitting you in this little area if you stand in front of it, or she does an AoE swing and hits everybody around her. 99% of the time, she's choosing the AoE swing. But if you know when to use the demon imp, mainly in ultimate, so it gets a bigger damage range to like swing on people and does more damage. You could do that as like an option when you do it, but mainly people are gonna, especially during ult, are gonna be doing the gigantic swing. It just cleaves your whole team. She's getting health per person she hits, like overhealth, and she's just hard to kill. She's like pretty much impossible to kind of lock down until they add more CC to the game. Pretty much your only option is to literally burst her. Like most of the time, it's you have a group who walls your team off, or you have your team just literally hit every shot they can and just burst her. I think that's kind of unfair, but I know people hate CC in games, so it's kind of a hard thing. Like Penny Parker has a reliable stun, but they still need to give her buffs. Like her damage is so pitiful with her left click still, even with a double fire rate. At first, I thought it was really, 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 really good. I take that back. It's still really bad compared to all of the other tanks. They just do so much damage. Like you can't. Every tank can kill somebody through a healer. Penny Parker cannot. Penny Parker has to literally have mines set up preemptively. You come around the corner, you get hit by mines, it takes you like half health. She then stuns you, left clicks you, stuns you, left clicks you, stuns you, left clicks you, and just does that over and over, hoping you die. And it's because her stun's on like a 3 second cooldown. So yeah, it's like wow, that's a 3 second cooldown long range stun. Sure, it sounds really strong. It was just the rest of her kit is so weak that it makes it so the stun is not enough for her character to be good. I hope that they just buff her a little bit more to be good but hard. She just needs like 8% more damage overall on her left click, overall potential damage. I think not like 10%, like 8% is like it'd just be just enough for I'm like okay, her mines are good and her stun is good. Everything else is kind of whatever. If they gave her a little bit more healing in her webs and a little bit more damage on her left click, should be a almost either a balanced or good but hard character. But yeah, like Magic is super easy, Hela's super easy, Iron Man's super easy. You know what you need to do in Iron Man. Moon Knight's super easy. You literally are just left click spamming people. You know what I mean? You don't mean you could hit one tank. You just hit the group over and over again, and because you're hitting the group, you're hitting their entire team. You know what I mean? That's why everybody in A tier is just they're great. They're great because one, they're not just easy. Some are actually kind of hard, like Psylocke. Psylocke's super hard, but it's just because they could do what they need to do, and they excel at it so well that it makes it easier for you, even if you're bad at like at DPS. Like, man, I suck at hit scan. Okay, that's fine. Like, I suck at personally hit scan. I'm on a DPS. On a tank, it's fine because I know how to play around my health pool, my shields, and stuff. But like on Hela, I'm so squishy, I could get killed in 2 seconds. But if I just hit one headshot, it changed the fight completely. That's how strong she is. Maybe you're not good at playing melee characters. That's fine. Play Magic. If you have to play a melee character and you can't think of anything because Captain America is so strong, that's fine. Play Magic. You know what I mean? She's the easiest one. Like all these characters, except for Psylocke, are all easy. Speaking of Psylocke, she is pretty much if you wanted to have like that high skill cap Genji character, Psylocke is your character. She kind of fills that like cool. Other than Spider-Man, she is like your character. She has like her ulti is like this giant AoE damage, like you're like teleporting everywhere and hitting anybody in the AoE. She has like crazy burst damage, cool movement. she's just like that premium assassin. Until I really get my hands on it, I've really just seen all the people in the China test, even the China tournament. Until I get my hands on it personally, though, or even play against people who are insane at the game who will master it and play against me when I'm on tank and see how good it is versus my tanks and stuff. I can't really speak to. She could be S tier broken. I don't think she's balanced at all. Look at her kit. I could tell she's not balanced. I've played shooters long enough to know she's not balanced, but she's definitely a good character. Right, let's move on to Raccoon, who I definitely have personal experience on. Played it in ranked, and I even tried it in scrims a little bit. Rocket Raccoon is a super good healer. He has a res. It's not like Adam Warlocks. It doesn't res the whole team, but it could res that one person that could be crucial for the fight. It took you maybe long enough to just kill that one person, and then it get resed, and then come back right into the fight. Even might have ult, you know. So that's annoying enough. His right click heals are actually really good if you're playing the game right. You could still get like 10k damage on him, but like 40k healing, you know. So, and that's good. You might think from another game like Baptiste will have like 15k damage with like 29 35 kills and like 45k healing. Okay, like yeah, he's not like Baptiste. I'm glad that we don't have a character as easy and brain dead as Baptiste. He doesn't have an immunity like Baptiste, but he has that res, and it's only a single res, but a full-on res that fully heals you to full, and you could even have pretty close to fight. So it's not like, oh, they just insta-res that spawn and have to run back, but they didn't have to wait the timer. No. They could literally res in your backline. It's wherever he throws it at, and it gives armor packs. And he could fly. He can in a sense fly. He can glide. He could dash. He has 2 aerial dashes. Like he could dash and then dash again if you want any direction. Dash here, dash there, dash wherever. You know, omnidirectional. And then glide. So you can dash up in the air, glide, sit there, and while you're gliding down, dash up back up in the air, glide, keep right click spamming from aerial view so it's easier to bounce them into weird corners to heal your whole team. Glide in this direction. Maybe someone's chasing you. Glide, shoot. Turn, left click them. He used to be a DPS. His gun's an automatic weapon. He used to be a DPS character in the original tests, like back but before you could even like before people even knew the game existed. And so that's why his kit feels like good to use as for DPS people, and more DPS people will probably pick his character. Usually DPS players like him and Mantis, and kind of Adam Warlock, but mainly like him and Mantis. His ultimate is a giant AoE like old Orisa ult. It literally just gives everybody in the area a damage boost. It's like I think it's a 50% damage boost. So a giant AoE 50% damage boost for like 10 seconds or something, 12 seconds, and it's literally has such a high health pool, you might as well not even try to shoot it unless you have like an Iron Man ult, and you hit the Iron Man ult on it and you use it to like help blow up their team instead of having like it's like a better angle or something. That's the only way you're getting rid of it. You might as well just like pop shields, walk around, like walk backwards, wait out the ultimate to come back, because unless you're winning the fight already. If you're winning the fight already, then you could probably kill through it, but a Punisher with the attack speed plus Rocket Raccoon ult, the attack speed bump from Rocket Raccoon's extra ability, and the ult, dude, yeah, you'll get insta killed, bro. He doesn't even need to whip the shot he had at that point. If he has a good AR, he melts your whole team. So and he's just like such a good enabler because of that he always will be like A tier. He might not always be a healer that's picked in the game, but when he is and he has the Punisher with it, goated. If without Punisher though, he goes down to like balance. With Punisher, he could be like bordering S. So that's why I put him in A. He does what he needs to do, and if he has Punisher, he becomes astronomically better. With Groot too, he could ride on Groot's shoulders and gets damage reduction. Mantis, we'll move on to Mantis. She has point and click heals, point and click damage buff. Both the damage buff and heals work exactly the same. They share the same resource, and you get the resource back by hitting headshots. You can give the damage buff to yourself or others, and because you can give it to yourself, she can actually pump damage. She can literally 1v1 anybody if she's good enough, except her projectile is decently hard to hit. It's not hit scan, so just know that when you pick her up, don't feel like this character is butt cheeks because I'm missing. You're missing because you're bad and you haven't learned the character yet. They buffed her healing overall, mainly her ultimate. She made it so her ultimate could give you over health now. So before it was like her ultimate was only good when people were low, and by the time you use it when they're low, they would probably just die. So now you can kind of preemptively pop it before you even go to, like, if you're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, push, you then pop your ulti because it also gives everybody movement speed. And then you throw like 1, 2 heals out, then you throw a damage boost mainly because you're already healing constantly with your ultimate. So then you throw a damage boost. So now your team has movement speed, over like healing, over health, and damage boost. And her damage boost I think is like 20% or might be 30%. Wait, oh yeah, they added, let me look at the site real quick. They, on their official site, guys, they made it so you could look at stats of characters. So like not just like, oh, this is Spider-Man, blah blah blah. Like who cares? I want to see their damage and stuff. I want to see Mantis. This website bugging out right now. How many people are on this thing? Here. Hold on. This website bugging. What's going on? The website died. Oh my gosh. Did they pin it? Oh, wait. You know what? It's on their Twitter. Hold on. I'm going to link this in the description down below and then pin the comment as well. I'm picking a pin comment just so people can find it easier. Oh no, the website's just down. What the heck happened? Oh, whatever. It's just, take my word for it. It's like 20%. It feels good enough. Oh, and when you play with Adam Warlock, you get a the personal res that he has when he dies, she gets as well. And it's literally so annoying to deal with that combo. Them together, broken. Her with Luna, pretty good. Her with Rocket, not really that good, but it's doable if you have Punisher only. If you have Punisher and you're both damage boosting and like trying to keep him alive and make him the carry, it's good. Other than that, that combo is terrible. Her and Loki might be doable. Might be, because Loki and Adam Warlock kind of are like healers that are just meant to do a lot of damage and healing when they need to. And then we'll move on to Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock has an ulti AoE team res. It's not like Mercy old res where like she'll always like she'll just res your whole team and it's the most annoying thing ever. He reses the whole team, but he has to be pretty close to him, and they res with like no health bar. So if a Moon Knight sees that, he just spams his left clicks over there, and as soon as it hits one person, it's gonna chain hit all of them. They all die. Before his heal, he has a chain heal, and before that thing can even hit them, one, he used both uses of it. I think he gets like 2 uses of it. He can like chain heal, or something like that. Before he could even do that, I think he would have the pop damage reduction, his damage reduction that heals people, and pop the chain heal. Before he can even do that, the Moon Knight would probably kill your whole team. Screw like getting Iron Man or whatever. No, you get Moon Knighted because everybody in the mom's using Moon Knight. That character is so easy and looks so OP. Like, he could be S tier. I just need to see how the game plays out. I need to see his 1v1 potential. If he has good 1v1 potential, he might be the best character in the whole game. But until then, Adam Warlock, like, if he gets even better, and they haven't had like a real AoE character yet other than Iron Man. So if they get more of those, Adam Warlock actually might fall down to balanced. Because that's really the only thing that was OP about him was his damage reduction ability and the old AoE res. His damage is pretty insane. He has like the Zenyatta type thing where he could like spam left clicks and it does a lot of damage. Or you could charge your thing up and then shoot it and it'll be like and like shoot a bunch. And you could just like hit like 2 headshots on it on the same part, but then hit body shots on the rest, and you'll like nuke any DPS in the game. But on the other side, sometimes a DPS or another healer could even go in there and 1v1 them. And if you take out the Adam Warlock, the whole team just falls over. Because pretty much your whole game plan was the Adam Warlock is popping the damage reductions that felt like ultimates on your team and kept everybody alive. As soon as you kill that, the other healer would be like Mantis, and she just can't keep the healer alive, the whole team alive. And without the damage reduction and the ultimate, kind of just feels like whatever. His AoE heal was kind of whatever. So that's what's like making them not be S tier. And if pretty much that combo is S tier, but without the combo, they're both A. Let's move on to S. So we have S tier is Magneto, Venom, Storm, Bucky, Hawkeye, and Luna Snow. Um, so Magneto is definitely S tier. His shield is now you could throw it up and down, kind of like similar to Reinhardt, except there's like a 2 second cooldown. He just has like an actual meter that drains the longer he keeps it up. But even when you have no meter, you could keep it up for like a quarter of a second or a half a second, and that's just enough time to like randomly eat an ultimate that's coming your way as long as you timed it right. And he could eat anything that's a projectile in the whole game, and you could still block ults like this Doctor Strange ult. So just know that he has a bubble, and you could used to only be able to bubble like other people, and now he could bubble himself. And he has 2 separate cooldowns. He has a bubble for himself and a bubble for another person. I'm pretty sure it's a separate cooldown. Um, yeah, so you could bubble yourself or you could bubble another person. He has the combo, the team up ability with Scarlet Witch. He gets a sword ability that does AoE damage on the impact of the sword. It's not crazy AoE, but it's enough for I can cleave a whole team if I need to, if they're like running through each other. I think it hits, but then also goes behind that person a little bit. I don't think it goes all the way through. Like it's just like a AoE explosion. It does a ton of damage, but they nerfed it. But I still think it's good enough where if you need to use the combo, it's good. But it's not like, oh my god. I used to beg people, just go Scarlet Witch and let me carry. It's not that good anymore, at least what I've seen in the China test. But they didn't nerf anything on his kit, and that wasn't the only thing that was good about his kit. The whole kit was good. So his ultimate literally eats all projectiles in the game, and if he gets to the max meter of it, you have to throw it before you hit that. You have to throw it at like 98%. If you throw it at like 98% of the meter that hits, because if once it hits 100%, it'll just blow up in your hands. You have to throw it like 98%. You throw it like 95, 98, 99, even 90%, you're killing everybody in the entire game. It might not kill a tank if it's at 90%, but it'll kill all the DPS. You'll just wipe all their team, like the whole team except like the tanks. And that's insane. Like they're just like a Punisher pops ulti and you just throw at the Punisher and insta kill him. Because it's like that's how almost fast. It's like Punisher ult, bullets start hitting. It's like throw, he dies. That's how, because that's how much damage comes out of his ulti that fast, and boom, and your Punisher gets taken out instantly, and the entire push is over because that was what you're relying on to push in. So you like how that Magneto boom pops ulti, boom, probably kills someone. Nope, he doesn't kill anybody. But yeah, that's how annoying he was. And this is how you play Doctor Strange, by the way. You like play the corner. I can like fly up in the air. I'm playing the corner, playing the pillar, playing aerial. They have to like look up in the air. They're looking at my team. They're trying to like push through. They didn't want to look up. Who the heck's gonna look up at a flying tank? You know what I mean? Like. And then all of a sudden, like that helps me soak up a little bit more damage, and I'm like doing damage while I'm bombing, weaving in my float state. That's that's how you play Doctor Strange, and that's how you play Magneto right there. His left click does a lot of damage. His right click does a lot of damage. His left click right click combo does a lot of damage. Especially if you build up the meter to make your right click do more damage, you could pretty much left click a DPS and kill him. Yeah, they didn't nerf anything else. I mean, they probably could come in and nerf. On that website, I'm gonna check all the numbers and see if they nerfed it. I'm not. I don't remember like the general numbers of everything, but I could probably tell like if I look at the damage numbers and be like, yeah, they probably tweaked this a little bit up or down. Venom. Let's move on with the Venom. Venom is. Let's go back. Dang, I was at that little thingy. Venom is the best dive tank in the game. He just has the most movement. His overheal thing is stupid. As the lower his health gets, the more overheal he gets. He has like a Winston ult or even a Hulk ult pretty much as a normal cooldown. His ultimate is he goes under the ground and then pops up. And so and then that does damage and then gives him overhealth. So he gets overhealth from his ult and he has overhealth from his normal ability. And his ultimate is the base on how many people get hit, he'll get overhealth. So based on the number, so his ultimate is based on how many people get hit. His normal ability is based on how low he is. So he starts the fight. He can start the fight with his ult, or you do his ult mid fight, so you can stay in the fight longer. So it's literally like you swing in, slam, do your thing, do your thing, like attach yourself to people, do your thing. They get you half health, pop ulti, go into the ground, slam, hit like 3 people, over health. Do your thing. Pop your ability, do your thing. If you get low, like your over health goes away and you're still kind of low, your healers want to look at you, fly out, slam into the ground somewhere else. Because the slam is a part of your swing move. So that was the gameplay of him. Swing in, slam, cause chaos forever, then swing out, come back, swing back in, come back, do the same thing over and over again. And you're like, oh my god. When they tweaked his numbers down and nerfed him, he's still S tier. I don't know if he's at the top of S tier. I would have to tweak that around when the game fully comes out. But until they like truly answer the problem, which is his normal ability, and a little bit of the how crazy the numbers is of on shield gain on his ult, which I guess on ultimates and ultimate they always need to be strong, not game breaking, but I mean they need to be strong, not like pennies. Pennies is awful. Um, like that's the difference. Pennies gets overhealth, right? But she isn't doing any damage, and she's throwing mines out that people might not walk into anyways. And you have pretty much she's like laying webs down so the mines stay there and you can't see them. I think they can't even destroy them when they're in the webs. And then she's like knocking you back, and you could do that. You could throw mines. You can left click if you do left click, right click, like spamming it. You can pretty much do them. I think if you hold it, you'll do both at the same time. Um, but like, who cares? Like, freaking Venom's just boom, slam, takes like 80% of your health bar, and then just melts you, and then like hits all headshots with his left click, hits all the tendrils, then turns around and then starts melting your whole team. And it's like, I'd rather have a big explosion impact than hers, where it's like over time, like maybe like a Winston, like I'm constantly knocking you back, and it's a little bit easier than a Winston. Winston, it's like I hit you, and my arm covered where you went, and I have to flick around to find you, and like yeah, it's not as annoying as that, but it just feels lackluster. Venom's whole kit is insane. Speaking of insane, we'll just move on to Storm. Storm is here because she's the best enabler in the entire game. Has a giant AOE speed boost. Has a giant AOE damage boost. When she and just default, it's good. Boosted with the actual press of the ability when it goes on cooldown. It's not like when it goes on cooldown you don't have it anymore. It just goes back to what the base was. When you boost it, it goes from like a 20% or 15% damage boost to like a 50% damage boost. It's like, what the heck? And even if they tweak it down to like 35%, a 35% damage boost is still crazy. Even if they took it down to 25%, a 25% damage boost is still crazy. No matter what they do, the point of the character is still crazy. She's also a perma flyer. All flyers are permanent. She's a perma flyer. She has like crazy damage on her left clicks. She has a right click that's like a big burst of lightning energy. So she can left click, right click. She always had that combo. With Thor, the enabler for her in Captain America, she gets a new ability, and it does like a AoE, boom, and it chains and hits people. And if it hits people, it could chain and hit multiple people. And sometimes it can even hit the same person multiple times if it chains and hits them over and over. I'll literally throw that. I was playing on the tournament, and we got top 64 in the tournament. NA tournament had like 500 teams or 300, 400, 400 teams or something. And I literally just played Storm Iron Man, and I would just throw that on the corner and literally would kill their healer. So I literally didn't even know the healer would get hit for like 50 damage. I'll throw it on the corner and he would die. And it would stop their whole push. They have to wait for the healer to come back. And I did nothing. I just threw my little chain on the ground and then it killed them. And it's because, and then with the damage boost too. And then the damage boost, by the way, it's a giant circle. And if she pops the damage boost ability and they're standing in the circle, they're getting hit by lightning constantly. So it's constantly doing damage to anyone inside of it. And it's damage boosting anyone that's inside of it, including you. So then you're melting everybody. And her ultimate is this giant AoE tornado that one initially pulls everybody to the center of it. It gives her overshield. And she does insane damage. The only way to survive it is a Luna ult or a preemptive Mantis ult. That's literally the only way to survive her ult. Unless they add more healer ults or a Loki popping his immunity clone things. But like, you're gonna be smart about it, and you're just gonna like left click, or have your team kill the Loki immunity. And as soon as they tell you it's down, they're like, I'm about to kill the last one. Pop the ult. That's it. You have your team force the Loki immunities, and then wait like 3 seconds, maybe even help kill one, then pop ult. Because by the time your team has already killed maybe the other one, there's maybe only one more left, and you can pretty much kill the last people, and you can kill the immunity with your ultimate. So like the last immunity that's left, you will be killing and then kill them instantly. They'll last like 4 seconds, 5 seconds. It's literally 5 seconds of this tornado destroying you. Yeah, she's just an all around annoying. You pretty much have to play your team around it, save ults for her. Like if you don't have a Luna ult, you die. It's pretty much over. Bucky here, he used to only have 2 bullets, now he has 3. So he has a 3-bullet hand cannon that literally takes like, each headshot is like 70% of a DPS's health bar. So it's like this dude is destructive. He has a close range punch that goes and like shoots out an energy blast, and then he has a grapple hook ability, and he has an ultimate where it hits. He flies up in the air like impossible to hit, slams on you, hits AOE damage. If it kills them, it resets and you could use it again, or it marks them as well. And if you kill them within like 2 seconds, you'll get your ult back again. So if you ulted and you hit Captain America when your tanks are fighting them, and the Captain America has like 110 health left, and you headshot him and kill him, you literally can ult again. That character is insane, bro. Like testing him, my barely any testing and doing like a little bit of custom matches. This character is going to be probably the biggest problem in the game. He's pretty much like old Hela, except like way harder to use. But when it's kind of like Spider-Man, where it's like when people learned him, like Necros, a lot of good Spider-Man players, when they learned him really well, it felt like impossible to play any who's a DPS. He feels like it's impossible to even play tanks. I think the punch goes through shields. Like his AoE slam, he could just fly up in the air, fly behind a tank, and like slam on your team. I think the slam even goes through shields. So it's like, what the heck do you do? And then it applies the mark. Who cares if it doesn't kill you? Got you low enough for him to kill you, and then do it again, and do it again, and do it again. He's gonna be a problem. He's probably gonna get nerfed. He's probably gonna be the first one nerfed, just because he's gonna be the most complained about character. Who knows? It could have added more. Other most complained about character probably is gonna be Hawkeye. I already have friends trying to say that his ult's too broken and needs to be nerfed hard, to be nerfed a little bit. Hawkeye is a projectile character, bow and arrow character, has a similar kit, has the similar working left click like Hanzo's, where it's like charge up, let go, fully charge up, do full damage. He could headshot with it like Hanzo. Other arrow characters like Paladins has Shaolin. I could say he works with Shaolin, but he doesn't because Shaolin can't headshot, and Hawkeye can. So that's the annoying thing about Hawkeye is he hits you in the head with that arrow, it's gonna kill you. He's the third sniper in the game, and if he hits you in the head, it's probably killing you. The damage I've seen on that character is insane. He has a sword ability that can knock you back because Hawkeye, they're trying to fuse Ronin Hawkeye and default Hawkeye from the Avengers. So instead of giving him like a bunch of utility arrows like default Hawkeye, they gave him the Ronin sword. He does have explosive arrows, and it's a pretty big explosion, but it goes like the middle where it hits, and then on the left and right of it. So you could like shoot it at the corner, and anyone on the left and the right of it are getting hit. So you can shoot at any corner and hit them around the corner. And then he has his ultimate. His ultimate just does a billion damage. It's probably gonna get nerfed. It's probably the only thing that people are really complaining about. If it gets nerfed, I mean, I want to play Hawkeye. I love bow and arrow characters. I love Hanzo. I love Shaolin. They're my favorite characters for DPS. But if they get nerfed, I mean, I don't main DPS, so it's not going to hit me as hard. But if you probably love Hawkeye, and he's especially one of your favorite heroes, and he gets nerfed, and hopefully they don't nerf him too hard. But I feel like Bucky and Hawkeye are going to dominate and get nerfed hard. That's just my theory. It always happens. A DPS too dominant might get nerfed hard, but I mean, Hela got nerfed pretty hard. I mean, like the damage fall off was insane. Like she had infinite range, and now she only has like mid range. She's supposed to be a sniper, but she can only fight you at mid range. If she fights you at far range, you literally don't even feel any damage, even as a DPS. So I think he's gonna have more range than her because he actually shoots a projectile, and hers is hit scan, and he's gonna be like a Namor, but he's not gonna have damage like Namor is a sniper that has like bullet drop on his spears because he's literally just throwing a spear. He doesn't have like a bow and arrow helping him, or Hela's a literal god. So it makes sense for Namor to have like some kind of bullet drop on it, and also he's throwing a trident, so it's a really big projectile, really fat hitbox. It's a lot easier to hit the headshot with it. So his arrows, I think, gonna be right in the middle where it's gonna be the perfect weapon to like do that. And he also, I think he has a grapple hook because I'm trying to remember his kit from the video. It wouldn't make any sense that it doesn't have any kind of movement because literally Hawkeye has like a motorcycle speeder and a freaking grapple hook thing where he like shoots his arrow to the wall and like grapple hooks to it in the show and all the shows, the comics and movies. So yeah, it wouldn't make any sense if they didn't have movement for him. And the knockback is gonna be annoying. The one thing was gonna be diving melees, and he has a little and just like swords him and melees him off him. Luna Snow. Let's move on to Luna Snow finally. Luna Snow. Luna Snow was let the video play. Luna Snow is just the premium Mercy healer of the game that can do a ton of damage. She's not locked to healing only like Mercy is. She has a CC. Her and Mantis are the only characters with reliable CC in the entire game other than Penny Parker. And her CC is like this insanely fast. Just instead of like normal left click, she like shoots out like a boom. She's like puts both her hands together and shoots like an ice blast forward. And it's just a pretty much hit scan like insta freeze. And it can freeze you for like I think it's like 3 seconds or something. It's a really long. And if somebody hits you, it takes you out of the freeze, so it's like an incapacitate. Her heals are just all her left clicks. She just left kicks everybody. She puts a mark on someone, so when she heals anybody else, that person who's marked will get the heals too. She has this mode where she can like shoot through anybody, so she could shoot and hit the entire team and heal the entire team if she wants. So she's an AoE healer, a broken single target healer. Her ulti is this giant Lucio boost thing where it's like instead of Lucio where he's like healing everybody around him and then giving everyone moon speed or like storms, it's like this pretty big circle that everybody's getting like quadruple the normal heals of her left click and just like pumping every like 0.404 seconds. Or it's a giant damage boost for the whole team. So she pretty much has like a rocket damage boost but around her. Or she could proc the thing again and then it'll just do a heal right there. You see it right there. And it's that, look how big that is. And she could spam the button and it'll literally heal and give damage boost over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And mainly people just keep heal, but if you know how to weave in the damage boost is just so insane that you could just win every fight with her. She's pretty much the be-all end-all character that is like the let's show you again so you can see the Luna Snow and like all the characters in action right here. Yeah, she's like the be-all end-all healer. She's just going to be in every game almost. And yeah, unless they add another broken healer, she's pretty much going to be the be-all end-all healer. Yeah, but this is the tier list. I hope you guys enjoy that. I know it's gonna be a long video. I'm not gonna add any editing to this. I'll make a more comprehensive tier list later when the game comes out. But for now, I don't get to play the new changes of the new characters. I didn't get to play any of the new characters. I just got to see them for videos. It could be different. Who knows? 5 more characters to be added. But yeah, I hope I'll see you guys on December 6th, and hope you watch more videos of mine. And yeah, I'm gonna have more actual more analysis videos. That's pretty much my channel is going to be mainly analysis videos, and I'll make guides on all the tanks because I'm a tank main. I compete and play tanks, but I've actually now competed with a DPS. I've literally got top 64 in that tournament with my team as a DPS player. So I feel like at least on the DPS I played, I have a kind of understanding of my positioning on DPS that I can help out. I'm not like an expert or anything, but I can at least help now on the DPS department. I always like coaching too, so yeah. Hope you guys see you guys around, and yeah, peace out.